Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome to 1 Million Cups. Is everybody having a good morning? Yeah, all right. So this is a special Valentine's Day edition of 1 Million Cups, so we're all wearing red, barely. Um, but we just wanted to kind of help share the love to the community and wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. My name's Lance Windhals. I'm one of the organizers here with Milton, Brian, and Britton. And a little bit about 1 Million Cups. So we are an educational program. We bring two entrepreneurs to kind of speak about their business and the lessons they've learned while starting a new company. As a community, we can ask questions, offer advice, and kind of network and help each other grow. Just by show of hands, who here is new for the first time? Awesome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming out. In addition, we also have our expert panel. So when we start the Q&A session, they're going to kick it off and ask a few questions to get us started, and then we'll open it up to the crowd. We'll let them introduce themselves real quick.
My name is Mike Meyer. I've been down here for about the last 2 years. I'm in the family music business. We have 3 music stores here in Kansas City called Meyer Music, and so that's about me.
My name is Bo Nelson, and I do Thou Mayest Coffee. We're down in the Crossroads. If anybody wants to come down after, just mention that you're at 1 Million Cups. We'll give you guys 20% off any of your coffee. We started about 6-7 months ago. I am a result of 1 Million Cups and what happens when you have an idea and it gets picked up.
All right, awesome. So we'll go ahead and get kicked off. Our first presentation is Howard's. It's going to be a membership grocery that's focused on local food.
Hey, is that good? Can you guys hear me? Good morning, I'm Craig Howard. I'm the owner of Howard's, formerly Howard's Organic Fair and Vegetable Patch. We did a little bit of rebranding and got some new stuff coming up down the pipe, so I'm excited to tell you guys about it. So Howard's is first of all, it's a grocery, and then a cafe, which is going to be one of the new aspects. We do a lot of catering, and also we grow food ourselves. So Howard started in June 2012 over in Hospital Hill at 20th and Campbell, and it's been a really great experience so far. It's we were open for about 2.5 years over there, and the hospital bought the building, and so the building is actually torn down now, which left us with a really great opportunity to do something new. So we're moving over to the Crossroads at 1708 Oak, and in the new space, this is the old space, kind of getting it built out. It was in the old City Ice building, which it's kind of a shame. It was like 115 years old, but it's gone now. But we work with a lot of local farmers, local producers, and what's really unique about the business model is it's based on the honor system. So I call it a membership grocery, but essentially people pay $60 a year for a household. Their 2 friends can split it, and they get the codes at the door and they come in and shop 24/7. You check yourself out, kind of weigh your potatoes. A lot of things is $3 per bag, but some of the stuff you weigh. So it's kind of loosely based on kind of the egg fridge in the country where you can kind of pull up somebody's backyard and that keeps chickens and leave your $3 in the coffee tin. And so it kind of expands on that. And what I was thinking about the business model, it's how could I make it traditional grocery stores more accessible to local farmers. So kind of think about what's easiest for them and then kind of build up from there instead of trying to figure out a way to get into like every Hy-Vee or something like that. So in the new space, one of the most exciting things is the cafe. So we're putting in a kitchen, which opens up a ton of avenues. We'll be open for lunch, which will be a really great way to have a conversation about the food that's in the grocery. How to use rhubarb or you know, and be able to talk about it. And so we'll still have the grocery will still be 24/7. We'll also be open until about 6:30 or 7, 4 days a week for people that aren't members. But if you're a member, you can still come where you'd like. And I unique opportunity in this new building because they were already planning on doing a big edible landscape, and so we kind of jumped in together and kind of expanded on that. And we'll be doing a. How's that? So the rooftop garden will be a pretty unique deal. Right now it's a parking lot in the middle of the two buildings, and we're going to rip up the pavement, do a big edible landscape, grow a lot of food for the grocery and the cafe. And the kitchen will also allow us to create a lot of menu items for the grocery that we couldn't before, like homemade mustard, mayonnaise, fresh pasta, take-home meals. And I still operate a hoop house over on the west side, so that'll be still in operation. So I did have 3 different gardens. I was renting kitchen space over at Bad Seed, and I had the grocery. So everything is really spread out. So this is a way to get it kind of all under one roof and on top of the roof. But we love to cater, do special events. We do like Green Dirt Farm dinner, did some events at Pal Gardens. It's a really great way to use the product, talk about it, and it just makes it more fun. So I invite you to come check out the shop. It'll be open. We're shooting before April. The build out, the lease still hasn't started. The build out's taking a little bit longer, but it'll be within the next week or two that I can actually get in and do. I'll have about 3 or 4 weeks worth of work and be ready to open. So thanks for coming.
Craig, thanks for presenting. We're going to go ahead and start with our expert panel. If you guys want to kick off our questions, go ahead.
I'm going to be the first to tell you I don't think I'm part of the expert in this arena, but I really enjoyed your, I think your concept and your branding. I was here when you presented last time, and to see where it's come from. The things that sparked me when I looked at your site and looked at your crowdfunding was if you could talk a little bit about the crowdfunding. The concerns that I saw just having built out a space is that the amount of money that you had in your crowdfunding might not be enough to cover that, and how are you going to plan for delays and city permitting now that you're going to be selling prepared foods versus other things. So I think you've got a great story, and quite honestly, from my perspective, branding-wise, I think you're hitting it. I think you're doing a good job of kind of keeping it simple and staying on point. So that's my feedback.
Well, thanks. So the the Kickstarter, we successfully had a Kickstarter that ended right before Thanksgiving, and it wasn't necessarily meant to cover. It was meant to help with the new project instead of trying to get the whole thing. I wanted it to be successful. I wanted it to work, and be able to contribute and not necessarily. I think if I did it for the whole project, it would have been a lot more difficult to raise the money. So I've been working really hard for a few years, so I have some money saved, and we'll be doing like a little bit of borrowing, but I mean, a lot of it is, the space is 1,200 square feet, so it's not a huge building to build out, and I'll be doing some of it myself, um, and as far as permits go, I'm familiar with, my background is in restaurants and cooking, and I've opened a few kitchens, so I'm pretty confident in the health department permit-wise. We have the building permit through the city. They've been great to work with, so as soon as the lease is ready, we're ready to go in and start doing it.
Good. I did have one follow-up that I thought of from last time you were here. You made the comment, what about theft? Because this is a subscription-based and it's open and you self-checkout. And at that time, you were really focusing on just local grown food products. And I remember your comment, well, if somebody steals a pound of spinach, it's not going to be the end of the world. But now you're into other things, products that you've gotten from that are a little bit more expensive. Have you had any issue with that over the 18 months of theft or, things walking away?
No, as far as I can tell, unless it happened right when I opened, when it was harder to keep track of the inventory, there hasn't been any just like theft. There's been some mistakes on a ticket or something that'll be like $1 or something, and then I thought, well, I need to try to eliminate that mistake by pricing everything, and then but that would take like 17 hours a week or something. So it's like the small mistakes are bearable, and it doesn't it's kind of a cost benefit thing. Does that answer your question? It's also more, it is like loosely based on the honor system, but to come in, you have to sign up, be a member, we meet, we have an orientation. So it's actually, in my opinion, a lot safer and than any other grocery store where the door's open and anybody can walk in with any attention they want at any time.
I'm a big fan of what you're doing, and I'm happy to be your neighbor.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're right around the corner, so I'm happy to see that I have another option other than grinders. Love grinders, but it's kind of this fresh organic stuff is looking a little better. Probably my biggest problem that I've experienced down there has been a lot of parking issues. Do you have any concerns or qualms about the parking and just kind of how people get in and out of your space safely, and also just if they have their hands full of stuff? I mean, you guys are ripping up a parking lot, which I think is awesome, but at the same time, it's kind of how do you work through that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think parking is an issue like anywhere, so it's just something you have to kind of be willing to deal with. So there's a lot of parking spaces. Right now, during the day, you can always find a spot on the street. And hopefully that'll change and, over the next, 6 months, a year, a couple years. They are putting in back-end parking along Oak, which will increase the street parking a lot. We'll have a couple spots right in front, but hopefully it's close enough to people that work downtown they can walk to if they.
Well, that was kind of my next question in terms of how are you looking at this in terms of growth, with foot traffic in the city? What's kind of your plan of attack to be able to get people engaged with what you're doing? Because there are some other grocery stores and places other options they can go to in the crossroads.
Well, I have a pretty good following so far. And it's I think with the amount of people downtown, why I'm really excited to be in that area is there's a whole untapped market that isn't really touched. Not everybody that works downtown. In the local food scene, it's a certain percentage of people, and all the local farmers, all the guys like me are kind of divvying that up. So being that close to H&R Block and businesses like that, it's not really about, it might not be about local food at the start. It might be about like a really delicious cheeseburger, but it's made from local beef. And then that can kind of be a conversation to start with people that aren't, going to farmer's market once or twice a week already.
Kind of my last question with this is, what about employees? Do you have any plans for staff?
So far it's been me and my mom. Dude, my mom is a really great accountant, so she's been helping me with that. And then I get help with caterings because there's just more revenue at that time during catering. So, but with the new shop, we'll definitely need, uh, with the kitchen there, we'll definitely need more help. More help. So, one of my friends that helps me out with the caterings is gonna jump on board, and we'll have about. We're gonna start off, with um, a couple employees and kind of see from there. One thing I definitely don't want to do is overextend the labor budget, and that'll just create a whole new set of worries rather than trying to figure out how to get really great food to the customers. So that'll be one of the challenges coming up for sure. It's a new thing.
Well, I'm excited to see you tackle these. This is pretty awesome, and well done, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, I think the East Crossroads is, over the next year, 5 years, 10 years is going to be, there's a lot of stuff going in.
If y'all don't know, it's going to be hot over there.
We're going to go ahead and open it up to the crowd. So if you've got a question, raise your hand. We're down a mic, so just keep it up and we'll hustle over. To get started, Craig, I wanted you to speak a little bit more about your Kickstarter experience. It sounds like you had a successful campaign. What are some of the things you expected that went as planned, and what were some of the things that kind of caught you by surprise, and how did you kind of get over those?
I think that the main takeaway was to be able to set a realistic goal and then work on it every day and just make sure that you're staying on top of it. Because if it's only 30 days and you take 4 days off over those, that could be the difference in the $2,000 that puts it over the top. There wasn't a whole lot that surprised me, I don't think. But also I went in with a kind of an open mind about it, and so I could kind of stay flexible and not run into like, oh, I didn't expect this. It's
How much did you guys raise?
13,268,
Awesome.
and our
Very
goal was 12,000. So it'll help out a lot for sure. I mean, it's a good. It's probably about 25% of the whole project, but that's a lot of money that'll help for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you posted to Kickstarter, did you kind of let it run, or how do you market to drive people and drive awareness?
Facebook is really good and free. So I mean, and people that were already, I mean, Facebook has good and bad things, but people that were already on there are already fans of Howard, so it's a really good way to link out with them, not necessarily to find new people for it, but, press releases, emailing reporters and bugging them, and just trying to just do something every day for it. And I mean, we started off with a good plan. Corey came up with we kind of worked together to get that going, and just every day to stay on top of it.
Got another question here to your left.
Thanks, Craig. I had a question around the pricing with an urban garden and some of the variability of the different producers. Can you help me out with how some of this is priced and how you kind of keep that in a consistent manner?
Yeah, it's my loose pricing for tomatoes, for example, and it really varies on. I mean, frankly, some of the stuff in the store, I buy it for pretty expensive, so I don't even mark it up. I mean, it's nice to have in there. So there's a few items that um, aren't going to really make any money, but it's really great to have. But it's I usually do about, depends on what it is, but anywhere between a 20 and 50% markup. Um, and once I get going with a particular farmer, it's really easy to keep their pricing structure. But it's kind of different every week, depending on what season it is, what vegetables there are, and who it is, and what they're. Because if it doesn't make sense for the farmer, then that's trying to sell produce to me, then it's not going to make sense for me. It's not going to make sense for you guys. So it has to start with them, and then figure out the best way to get that to the consumers.
Consistent, I'm sorry, to follow on with that, how do you keep a consistent inventory of items when people come in and they're looking for things, something specifically?
So it depends on the seasons kind of dictate that. So like whatever vegetables are available is what is going to be there. So it's just a matter of ordering right from the farmers and keeping tabs, checking it doing inventories, and also letting them know when something will not be around anymore. But yeah, there's things that come in, and somebody might have 20 pounds of something. That's all they have for the whole year. But that's a good chance to say, get it while you can, instead of you can make this for Thanksgiving and for your summer barbecue and for your spring potluck. And so it's more about like enjoying what's around at that time.
Craig, we've got another question for you here as well.
So now that you're moving, is your membership fee structure changing as well?
No, it'll still be the $60 a year for the household, or two friends can split it. And then during the week, it'll be open to the public, anybody that wants to come in and shop. I'll be making kind of sausages and, homemade American cheese with really good ingredients that'll be available in the grocery. So like, the pickled veggies that we use in the grocery or in the cafe will be available. So I want people to come in, and when they eat, the burger or grilled cheese and want to recreate something, to be able to shop and not only be membership. But also access is really important too, so.
Got a question right here up front.
A question similar along those lines. Just with two people, I imagine there's a lot of work to do with logistics and partnering with farmers and finding what you need for the appropriate time. Just wondering if you could give some color on the logistical challenges that you face, in addition to how you wrap your mind around eliminating waste.
Well, there's, like anything logistically about it is challenging, because there's not a template to follow. So it is a lot of figuring out. That's also kind of some of the fun part. And as far as the eliminating waste, it was very rare that I wasted anything at the old store. If it was because I was too busy doing a catering or something. It's like, oh man, the Swiss chard went too long or something. But in that case, it could be composted. So at the old store, we had about, and I want to find a way to kind of track the waste on the new, as far as, what would go to the landfill, what gets recycled, and what gets composted. We kept track of waste for inventory purposes, but as far as just the waste reduction that we're doing is, I think, really important to document. And we only had about a 5-gallon bucket of like trash for every like 1 month at the old store, because the boxes could get resent back, or if they were too old, they could get recycled or even composted or used for like lay down in the garden. So there's very little like actually waste, but that doesn't account for what happens to like a plastic wrapper once somebody takes it home. So that's one of the new things I want to try to figure out with the new shop too. Not that there's a lot of it, but I want to be able to know what's happening with all the packaging.
Craig, we've got another question for you here in the middle.
Morning, Craig.
Hey,
As I look at this, I see not one but three businesses. There's a grocery store, there's a cafe, and then there's a catering business. Multiple questions underneath this. The first one is the target market for each of those is probably different. Your typical customer for the grocery store is not necessarily going to order catering, and the man off the street just buying a hamburger at the cafe, you know, you're targeting different segments. How are you focusing your marketing on one customer versus another? Second question, which of those three has the most profitable revenue stream? Third question, which one are you most passionate about?
well, maybe I'll kind of work backwards on that. There's really four with the growing. So I kind of look at it as a table with the four legs, and each one kind of supports itself. The catering is the most profitable. The cafe is meant to be a steady income. The catering kind of goes up and down, but when it's busy, it's good extra money. And the grocery is the heart of the operation, but might not be the most profitable. And to me, it is different groups that I'm trying to target, but I think we need to, if I just focus on the local food group, then I don't think the pie is big enough for everybody. I think it should be like food instead of not local food, but it's just like good food. And it's so to me they really overlap a lot, maybe without somebody knowing it. What was your other question?
Which one?
The cooking. So that's what I'm really excited about too, is with the new shop. Well, with the old store, I didn't have a kitchen there, so I was renting kitchen space at Bad Seed. But my number one passion is cooking, so I'm really excited to have the kitchen in there. It's going to be, it's going to be like a whole new world and open up opportunities for a lot of different things.
We've got just a couple minutes left. We're going to do two questions and then do our sign off. First one right here.
Craig, I like your presentation, and I think it's a nice concept. But how are you differentiating yourself from somebody else who may have a similar concept that's actually pretty close to you, like a sundry?
Well, I think that we're different enough people, and I've worked with one of the owners, and we're different enough. We have different enough ideas and thoughts about what food should be and what dishes to prepare, even. So I think it's going to be different enough that, my plan has 10 businesses similar to mine coming into that area over the next 10 years. So it's going to be a competitive market. But that's also why my space is 1,200 square feet and not 5,000 or something.
Craig, we're gonna go with one more here before we close, if that's all right.
Actually, going to that point right there, you're talking 1,200 square feet, and I see some obstacles that you might have supplying a grocery store in competition with like a supermarket that's got Hy-Vee, and you're talking about putting a kitchen in the grocery store. How are you going to handle the influx of demand on the products that you're supplying, and then also have room for tables for your cafe?
Well, the grocery only needs to be, I'll never try to be another, like a Hy-Vee or something. There's just, I'll never carry trash bags. I'll never carry a lot of, household cleaners or have like a medicine aisle or whatever, you know. So um, only there's only so much that I want to provide, and there's enough space for it. I mean, uh, you know, in some other cities and other markets that I've been to, it's amazing what you can get into a smaller space, and that actually makes it easier just being able to keep it, to control it, and provide like a better product.
Craig, we are out of time, so one final quick question for you. As a community, what can we do for you?
Well, obviously, come check out the space when it's ready, or before if you want to see it before it's all built out. If you have any ideas on ways to track recycling or composting, I want to put numbers to the things that we've already been doing, but if we don't, there's enough to keep track of without having a whole other system, but that's a really important system to implement, because if we don't put a number to it, we can't get better at it. And so if you have any ideas about that, that would be great. Yeah, or just email me if you have any ideas.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for coming out presenting. We've got just a few announcements for you here real quick before we also bring up Rick Usher to make one. But if you look at your announcement sheets on the back, there's a few things there. It kind of got cut off a little bit, but you can see the top one about NCORP's 45. We've also got an announcement there to register for Fast Track's author series webinar. There's a link there. It's on schedule for February 18th at 10 a.m. If you'd also look at the bottom, there's a Battle of the Code University Hackathon coming up, and this is going to be February 21st and 22nd at the Sprint Accelerator. There's an email address there and a website for more information if you would take a look at that. We're going to play a very quick video here also for Rick Usher. In just a moment, we're going to bring that up on screen. Rick, why don't you come on up? It looks like we're having a little trouble with the video, but we'll have you go ahead and speak.
Well, thanks. Back in December, I got a tweet from a friend of ours at the National League of Cities, Christy McFarland. They had been here for a conference back in September, and it was a tweet stating, Big Idea Cities, check out this Global Entrepreneurship Congress Cities Challenge. And I read through it and I tweeted back, this has Kansas City written all over it. So who's read Brad Feld's Startup Communities? Great. So when you read the questionnaire, it comes right out of the book. And we formed a group with the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce, KC SourceLink, Visit KC, the mayor's office, and the Economic Development Corporation, and then Aaron Deacon at KC Digital Drive to figure out how to write this. We chose the model we used with the Google Fiber response. We created a Google Doc. And then as a feeder to the entrepreneurial community, I couldn't answer the question, what is entrepreneurship for you? So I tweeted that out, and I got just a ton of amazing responses. Most significantly, I think, back from Carrie Royce, who wrote a blog about it and then tweeted a link to that blog. So we submitted the application nomination for Kansas City, and then I think Matthew Marcus submitted one through Startup Village, and Melissa Roberts submitted one through ECJC, tried to get really the KC region recognized for entrepreneurship. The competition is to recognize urban entrepreneurship. And all through January, the judging was taking place, and we're tweeting and seeing where this information is coming from. Well, in early February, Jonathan Ortmans at Kaufman wrote a blog about the U.S. cities that had made the top 50, and Kansas City was ranked first of the 12 or 15 U.S. cities in the top 50.
Innovation never sleeps.
So they wanted a video that helped tell you what happens in Kansas City. This was one of the videos we submitted.
Early in the morning, never,
Late into the night,
sleeps.
a vision of innovation. Shared by a city. Generations of businesses have come together. Private companies, governments, universities, nonprofits, entrepreneurs. In an unprecedented metro-wide effort for greater Kansas City.
Innovation. Never.
To build a sandbox.
Sleeps.
To create an entrepreneurial ecosystem. And to start the next big thing. Digital Sandbox, where Kansas City's innovators come to play.
Okay, so obviously I stole that video from Jeff, but and the competition really was to highlight everything happening in the city. This video, along with the video of Mayor Sly James, Mayor Reardon, talking about building an entrepreneurial city, the Kaufman Sketchbook was the premier video that we used. So Thursday last week, I got this email. The results of the GEC Cities Challenge have been announced today. You're receiving this notification because your city is among the top 5 who will be invited to Milan. So now, you know, your work's not done, but you've brought recognition to Kansas City, and we'll need some help in preparing for whatever expo we're going to be asked to give in Milan. So continue to watch the Twitter, #GEC 2015, and thank you.
Thank you, Rick. We're going to welcome Reggie to the stage. Actually, Trey, we're going to welcome you to the stage right now to talk about Songette, which is a personalized music video greeting for every occasion. Welcome, Trey.
Thanks, Milton. First, thanks, Kaufman, 1 Million Cups. As Bo said earlier, I was 3 years ago, I remember down the hall being with the focus group and when it was a concept. And finally, 3 years later, we're ready to present here at Kaufman. So thank you for your attention ahead of time. This is Ian Stanford. He is our CTO, and Reggie Harris is our COO, and we'll be answering questions later. Songette Music. Now imagine getting one of those for your birthday, for your anniversary, for any type of occasion that you have. The traditional way of coming to your home to do a singing telegram or gone with the wind. Now that we live on our social media, we live on our email, iPads, cell phones, we've created a company that brings songs or songettes, a tiny song, to you for all of your occasions. So we believe that everyone deserves a song. I mean, think about that. Every day there's 19 million $19 million that can be made from the birthday, every single day. And with our idea, our model, our business model, as well as our revenue model, you'll see that it's really time for Songette to do its thing. We're personalized input, just like the greeting business, and we're the music business, all tied in together. So imagine getting that harmonica solo, you receive it on your email, to Frank from Jen, happy birthday. And the performer performs the little 30-second Songette for you. And then when you receive it, you realize this person really cares enough about me to send this greeting. Now, Hallmark Cards was built in 1917, and in 1954 became, Joyce C. Hall made it into Hallmark Cards as we know it. There's not much that's changed since that moment, except maybe a couple ribbons, some balloons, you know. But here we are in 2015. It is time to take that greeting business completely to the next level. As Reggie always says, we're going to put some steroids on it and raise it up to where it needs to be, as well as the gaping hole that's in the music business. We have almost 200 artists here locally in Kansas City that are come on with us with these songs. We've written over 200 to about 400 actual songs, and we filmed over 120 of these. I'm going to show you a clip here in a second. Ian, what's the next? We believe our mission is, it's a personalized music video song for every occasion. It's a 30 to 60 second. We don't even call it downloadable anymore. It's more like live streaming. So 30 to 60 seconds. We have to stay within that 60 seconds to make it an actual song. Here, check this video out.
Happy birthday, it's your birthday, happy birthday, like no other, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to all your dreams and fantasies, it's all become reality. How you changed my world, you never know. How different now, you help me grow. I'm treating you
Welcome to Song It. Invitation is the music. Losing ain't an option. We all get along because we all work on projects.
Now, each one of these artists are Kansas City grown, and the young lady there, Madison Porter, is a high school senior. So Song It is one of those businesses that we're going out and finding the best talent that we can possibly bring to the masses. I played 37, as you noticed, I was in a couple of those. I played 37 instruments. I've been a professional musician for 32 years. I toured with Prince, Alicia Keys. I mean, my background is enough where I did the legwork in my earlier days, and now that I'm 4 years old now, I want to give back and show these young kids that there's a way to make money at this. There's a way to get your talent out to the world, and let's do this in a way that everyone wins. So the personalized part of it is, it's actually about you, it's about them, it's about us, okay? This is our idea for the build out. You see up here, can you go back to the first one? You see in the yellow it says occasion. The website has 4 different breadcrumbs. So there's an occasion that you pick on. Pick any of the occasions that you need a song it for. Let's say birthday. We'll click on the birthday song it. Then it goes to the videos. These would always, the next screen would have all the videos that are up that are about birthdays. Then we go to personalize. Ian, when you hit that personalize, then the personalized video, this is the one you have chosen, you can inlay text over it. You can actually record your actual voice over it. You can upload images of you or your family members to actually put into the video. And then at the last breadcrumb is schedule. So it's basically a 4-step process. Pick your occasion, pick your video, personalize it, and then schedule it. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Okay. We have a lot more information to tell you, but we'll open it up for question and answer so we can get into some of the nuts and bolts. Thank you for your time.
So for the information that I was sent, this is not the website that I saw.
Correct.
So what I'm going to talk about is the website that I did see.
Okay, yes.
I didn't get it.
Okay.
I thought the website had an awful lot of stuff on it, and it was very difficult for me to determine who you were, what you were doing, and what you were selling. So if I had a tip for you as you move on to the next website, it is less is more. I know that with text, you have to have some of that for your SEO, but it was just very, very crowded, and as I went through, I could never really figure out how much a songette
Your
cost,
website. Would you bring up the real one?
what actually a songette was, and then when I went to actually see a songette or purchase one, when I went to the shop tab, I couldn't hear what I was about to purchase. So I'm not sure a lot of people are going to want to buy something that they couldn't hear. When I looked at this website, I was confused from a branding standpoint because the imagery that you have up top is very professionally done, but the videos look like they were in a basement, which is probably where they were, and that's fine, but I think you need to determine which of those images do you want to be.
Okay.
Do you want the professional looking image? Because I think that if people go to there and then they see a kind of an amateur looking image, they're going to be confused. This is not what I think I'm getting. But I think that as I started thinking about it, you had a real opportunity to decide, are these going to be more of a fun, whimsical video where people aren't going to expect professional imagery up top and then the video to look like that. So I just felt like from a branding standpoint, it was kind of all over the board, and I didn't really get where you were going. I also then tried to look up the website on my mobile device, and it doesn't come up on a mobile device, and I clicked 3 or 4 different ways to get to it through the email that I was sent from Kaufman. So given the fact that most people are surfing on a mobile device, you know, that would be a place where I would at least make sure that you have something up, because people are going to come and they're going to move away.
Right.
I also like in your new website, if that is in fact going to be your new website, I think your logo is very busy, and a lot of the music stuff that's around the edge could be taken away. That's a lot more clean, and it gets to the point a lot quicker. So
Okay.
that's my feedback.
Okay. I'm glad you said all the things that you were saying. That first website, Ian, would you go back to the actual website here? This is how it looks today. Index Media is our website provider. They do all of our and social media posts and all the things. I'm going to go back to the end, and usually with Kaufman, they'll say, as a community, what can we do for you? That's why we're here. All those issues, that's exactly why we're here. This is the website we have now. That's $285 a month. But Ian, show them the one that's hot and sexy. That's the one we need. So as a community, what can we do for us? We need to build this out. This is the only way the customers are going to think this is the coolest thing since sliced bread. So yes, this is exactly why we're here. We want this to incorporate the things that will make it an actual songette. My vision when I had the vision 3 years ago. This is where we need to go. Not where we are today, because this is $30,000, that's $280 a month.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference.
Yeah, I think there's opportunity for you for a lot less than $30,000 to simplify your site too.
Sure.
I'm a small family business here in Kansas City, so we aren't H&R Block and spending that kind of money on our site.
Sure.
But just simplifying it and taking away some of the text. I probably was on your site for 20 minutes trying to find the price of a songette, and I couldn't ever really figure out, other than the $1.99 deals, which leads me to another thing. So I guess those are the greetings that are $1.99.
$4.99. Can you bring up here's our revenue model here. Yeah, $4.99 personalized songs. That's just for the ones that we've actually filmed. All we do now is overlay the personalization to it. If we have to go in and make a customized music songette, then those can be anywhere from $20 to $50. If we have to incorporate the person's name or specifics, details within the song, we can write those as well. But then, you know, we're getting up into the thousands. Okay, that's really where those numbers came from. And on the shop page is where you would find those numbers to know where to purchase it for. Because right now, everything is basically custom. You would say in the contact area, I'd like for you to buy, I'm buying this, send it to my mom on her birthday, here's the date.
So to grab a customer right out of the gate, and I don't want to monopolize the whole time, but a very simple thing you could put right on the front of your thing. It says, customized personal message for you for as little as $19.99.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
like that.
You could get your message across in one line that took me 20 minutes. And I got to tell you, with most people's, how quickly they bounce off sites, they'll never get there.
Sure.
They'll never dig far enough in to find that link.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
How's it going?
Hi, Bo.
Who's your target market?
Women ages 25 to 50.
Cool. And what are you doing to go after them?
We have Song It Showcase Saturdays. Our budget is really low on, really tiny on marketing. So we're doing a lot of grassroots marketing. So our Song It Showcase Saturdays, we have a concert basically every Saturday.
Where at?
This weekend's is at Nick and Jake's upstairs in the plaza here. So it's our Valentine's Hearts on Fire concert. Come by.
Do you guys, have you sold any of the $20?
The $4.99, the $5 ones? Yeah, we've sold about 300 of those so far.
How many?
300.
Okay. And you said the new website cost how much?
No.
Or like, what's your idea?
Hold on, let me let Ian talk to it because I'll play harmonica.
Is this, oh, okay. Didn't know, okay. Well, for the website build out, there's a lot of things going on with, developing the stack and being able to scale and everything like that, but we're looking at 8 to 10,000 to get going and be fully up and running with the design and, a development team to get it going in the way that we want to get it.
So at least, let's just be conservative and say 10,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's 2,000 songs? Do you think how long do you guys think it would take to hit that? Because if you're gonna grow sustainably, I mean, do you think the market's there before you spend all that money?
Right.
Yeah, because it's gonna open up the artist part of it. There's gonna be artists all over the country that can upload their song to the platform.
Do they get paid?
Yes, oh yes. Artists, if you write the song, it gets 20%. If you perform the song, you get 20%. And then the house gets to 60, but if you do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, just going off of what Trey said, I think the great stuff they've recorded is sort of to get the ball rolling. And then I think a way to bring people in after that is through other artists uploading their, 45-second, 60-second songettes, and then bringing their fans to the fold, and the relationship between the artist and the users support the artist through royalties. So I think the promotion model can be baked in once you get to the point where the artists believe in the platform and are trying to promote it.
Awesome. We're running short on time, so we're going to open it up to the crowd. If anyone has a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I got one right in the middle here.
You said there's 20% if you write and 20% if you perform. So is there a part of the platform where there's written material that then the artists can choose from the written material to perform?
Yes.
And the writers get paid based on that?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's brilliant.
Yes, ma'am. It's just like the way the current music industry operates. But instead of one artist getting 0.001% of a song you wrote, you're actually getting 20% of the song. So you're bringing home $1 off of that song. But if we sell that 1 million times over, I mean, it's awesome.
Trey, I got a question in the back for you.
Yes, Brian.
I agree somewhat on the video. I mean, some of them were interesting, but from a consumer point of view, there's a website called powtoon.com, Powtoon.com.
Okay.
You can make animations for a minute. It's really easy to make any animation, and you can make like a cartoon-like greeting card for the actual visual part, and then lay your audio over it. You might want to check that out.
Well, there's something called Jib Jab. Anyone heard of Jib Jab in here? They kind of do the same thing. My point is, we have to get those artists that are out there starving, that have no way to get their music out. This is the platform for them. And animation right now is just, I can't see it. So no offense, I just got to stand up for the guys that have learned to play 30 instruments,
Trey, we've got a question here in the back.
Yes, sir.
Mine is more of a comment. This is a great concept. I love it, and you've done a great job of doing your presentation.
Thank you.
Have you thought about possibly having the artist put some skin in the game that would help you financially? So, for instance, maybe give you a certain amount of money to be able to put their music onto your website, which would actually help fund you in doing your work, but it would also give them some skin in the game, which would also help them want to market your website even more because they need to recover that money.
This is Reggie Harris, our COO.
Yeah, I'll feel that. We haven't asked them to pay directly. Kind of what our model is, though, however, is going and grabbing that artist that has a fan following and fan base and saying, you need an outlet to be able to get your music out. You want to sell your album, you want to promote your concert, what have you. So we will bring you onto our platform, assuming that you've met our criteria of having that fan following so that you can expand our brand along with yours. So while at this point we haven't asked them for direct dollars, what we have asked them for is what's your network and what do you bring that adds boost to us? Most of these artists don't have a lot of money to start with, so for them the opportunity to come and sell anything is an upsell. So part of that, I'll give you two quick examples. We got an artist that's joining us right now that's currently on a reality TV show that appears on the OWN network. He just agreed to join us last week because he wanted to get in the singing business and was disenfranchised with the large labels and what their deal was. So coming to us, he's able to make more money, but then he's also able to cross-promote us through his channels and networks. So that is the process and the way for us to go with it.
Got another question here in the back.
Good job on the concept. I like it. Two quick questions. One is, have you guys considered raising external capital to kind of spearhead that process instead of going organically and make it go quicker? And the second thing is, how deeply have you guys looked at Fiverr.com, which is an online platform where you can get almost any personalized task for $5? So the product that you're selling or hoping to sell for $20 is actually available for $5, but the artist might not be local and all that stuff. So those two questions.
Let me take that. Fiverr, I'm not real familiar with. We've heard it. And that's kind of where our $5 price point came from, is some of the competition out there. And you're going to get a real basic product at $5. Our competitive advantage is the music and those fans that are following the music. So the reason we're able to say that it's $20 is because it's a fan following. Let me give you an example. Years ago, when I was first married, I was a real romantic guy. I'm not anymore, but I was. So I would send my wife flowers, okay? Now, I had one florist that I went to, and one time I would send her a dozen roses. It would be 9 white, 3 red. Next time I sent it to her, it might be 9 red, 3 white. So it became a game because I was thinking of her, and I personalized it to her. I didn't just call the florist and say, send her a dozen roses. There was thought. And she knew there was thought from me because only I would know what I sent the last time. So with Song It, when I personalize it, I put your name in it, I think about you, it's a higher premium for that. And we believe people will pay for it. So we think that's where the competitive advantage comes in and makes everyone else feel special.
Got a quick question here in the middle.
I was wondering if you could speak to your quality control on the artists that are coming in, and maybe a vetting process of who you're allowing to come onto the platform and who you're keeping out, if anyone.
We're joking about that now. There's a new TV show called Empire, and I don't know if you've seen it or not, but like the wife that got out of prison, her name is Cookie, and I always call up Reggie in the middle of the night, dude, we need a cookie right now, because when you're dealing with artists, you have so many issues, and yeah, I mean, it's a daily grind, honestly. But the advantage we have, for 20 years, I was a high school teacher, and I've taught wherever the tour took me during the day. I taught, and I played at night. So with that, most of my artists are kids that I knew had talent when they were younger. So I went back and got them, and now they're on our platform because I'm still Mr. DeBose to them.
Got a question here in the middle.
Yes.
Hey, I really like your idea, but I wanted to know, do you guys have any plans to build out this as an app or just as a website?
Well, when I put together this mock-up, it was going to be a web app, just because you can still, I think, have more robust functionality on the web app, and then also if our target demographic is sort of the greeting card generation, moms, grandmothers, stuff like that, I think they're still maybe more adept to the computer experience versus the phone experience. But, that is something that's changing every day. So we are sort of still in the exploratory phase of that question, and I could see, it either being an app or starting out as a web app and moving to native mobile at some point. So we're still exploring in that area, but we've thought about both methods there.
Before Brian cuts you off, suggestion. I'd love to see a package deal where you'll send trash talk to my fantasy football opponent each week via song.
We actually got called. This guy was like, "You guys do breakups?" I was like, "Yes, we do." So we do every occasion, all occasions. We can write it. We got writers for it.
Can you write me a song that says, tells my other organizers I won't be here next week?
I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here you go.
Hey, thank you guys very much.
Thank
what
you.
a
Thank you,
unique,
man.
a
Thank
unique
you.
business. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey,
Thank you, Mike.
I hope you guys enjoyed the program today. If it was your first time, we invite you back. If it's not your first time, we invite you to bring a friend next time. We are using our Facebook page to create an event each week, and we invite you to join that event, and then we can kind of get to see who's coming on a virtual basis a little bit more. So we'd like to invite you to do that. And that's all the time we have. Have a great day. Thank you.